set up. Front's open. All right, so we'll get started now. Welcome to I am Omo J um, Ministries. I'm Awo Egunniyi Edwards. Uh, Tonight we're going to be focusing on Exodus chapter 1. We've already made our way through Genesis in its entirety. We'll be reading from the eSword application and doing a little bit of commentary, not too much, but the strategy that we're implementing is to go through the um, doctrine in its rawest form, its truest form, according to how it's presented. Later, we'll go through and generate commentary based on revelations uh, relative to my own spiritual path, relative to the um, truth of Ifa, according to the word of the creator of all things, Olodumare, um, and just delve deeper into the understanding of the scripture, the understanding of the text, the understanding of the um, original story, the original names, some of the original locations, without the modification and in the translations that have occurred, so we can get down to the root of the true um, definitions of things and the true purpose of things. Okay. So now, as we transition out of the end of Genesis, um, with the transition of the tribes of Yaqub or Israel, um, we now see that they've been relocated to essentially the house of Yaqub, the house of Yosef, the house of Joseph, there in Egypt, where he is highly regarded after being sold away to the Ishmaelite um, into bondage by his brothers. So this is after the culmination of his story and the transition of Yaqub or Jacob or Israel, um, Israeli. Um, but that's where we pick up. So now Exodus 1:1. Now these are the names of the children of Israeli, which came into Egypt. Misraim, um, which is the name of Egypt. Misraim, okay. Um, Israel, all right, okay. Every man in his household came with Yakub, uh, Reubune, uh, Shimone, Levi, and Yehuda, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, um, Don, Naphtali, God, and Asher, right? Ash, Ashare, Ashare, Benyamine, Issachar, Yehuda, Yehuda, Levi, right? Rehubani, right? Rehubani. All the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Yosef was in Mizraim already, and Yosef died, and all his brethren and all that generation. And the children of Israel was were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Paro oppresses Israel. Um, Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Yosef. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that there falleth out any war. They join also into our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Paro treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. All right. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians, Mitzri is the way that's pronounced when you pluralize Egyptians. It's Mitzri. Uh, and the Mitzri made the children of Israel, to serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And Paro of Mitzrayim spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shipra, and the name of the other was Pua. So sound like Egyptian names. All right, let's make sure we get everything right at the beginning. Shifra and Pua. Shifra and Pua. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill them. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared God. And by God, this is Elohim in this verse. Elohim. Okay. Um, and did not as the king of uh, Mizraim commanded them, but saved the men children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, Why have you done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwife said unto Pharaoh, Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore, God or Elohim dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that they made them houses. And Paro charged all his people, saying, Every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. So he's doubling down on his wickedness. Um, and there went a man of the house of Levi, and took a wife, a daughter of Levi, and took two wives. Okay. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him, that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. So he was a Levite, or the house of Levi. They don't say. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch. Pitch, again, is tar, bitumen. We saw that in Genesis, in multiple chapters where they discuss pitch. And put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river brink. And his sister stood afar off, to wit what would be done to him, to witness what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the river's side. Let's go to part of the, yeah, there we go. Okay. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. Let's see what they mean with flags. What do they mean? Yeah, so flag, so amongst them. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, This is one of the Hebrews' children. Um, then said his sister to Paro's daughter, um, here. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, This is one of the Hebrews' children. Then said his sister to Paro's daughter, Shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee? Paro's daughter said to her, Go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Paro's daughter said unto her, Take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Paro's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses. She said, Because I drew him out of the water. Okay, so this is Moses here. I believe it's Moshe in the original. Yeah, Moshe, drawing on. And it came to pass in those days, Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked his way, and he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian, and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, Wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, Who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me, as thou killedst the Egyptian? And Moshe feared and said, Surely this thing is. Now when Paro heard this thing, he sought to slay Moshe. But Moshe fled from the face of Paro and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by the well. Midian, 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 in the land of Midian. Now the priests of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moshe stood up and helped them, and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, Reuale, which means friend of God, but Reuale, um, you see the L in his name as well, um, referring to Elohim or El or the Most High or Yahweh, depending on the interpretation. Um, Rauale, he said, How is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, An Egyptian, a Mitzri, delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock. And he said unto his daughters, And where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread. And Moshe was content to dwell with the man. And he gave Moshe Zipporah, his daughter. Okay. Zipporah. Zipporah. The Z makes a TS. Teeth. Zipporah. And she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried, and their cry came up unto Elohim by reason of the bondage. And Elohim heard their groaning, and Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob, Ishkak, with Abraham, Ishkak, and with Jacob. And Elohim looked, or El, so probably El because it's a singular. Elohim. And Elohim looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them. Now Moshe kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law. It's probably Yethro, Yethro, Yethro. Now Moshe kept the flock of Yethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock. He led the flock to the backside of the desert, and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. God, mountain of Elohim, Korabe. Okay, this is a series of mountains. It's Korabe. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moshe said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when the Lord, this is Jehovah, and when Jehovah saw that he turned aside to see, Elohim called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moshe, Moshe. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet. For the place whereon thou standest is holy. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Ishak, and the God of Jacob. And Moshe hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. Now, remember, they said this is the angel of the Lord that appeared to him. Okay, this is Elohim, 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 Elohim. Is that an angel? Yeah. He was an angel of Yehovah, but is referring to the angel as God, for he was afraid to look upon God. And the Lord and Jehovah said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Mitzrayim, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And I came down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, of the Mitzri, and to bring them out of that land unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with and a large. So up unto land, unto a good land and large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaan, Canaani, Canaani, it's plural, as a Hit, Hit, Hitti. This is Hitti. It's not Hittite, it's Hitti. Kitty, 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 the Kanaani, 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 the Hitti, Kitty, the Emery, Pharisee, and the Hitti, Kivi, Kivi, and the Yabusi. It's pluralized east side, double east side. But it's Yabusi, Kivi, Kivi, the Pharisee. This is the Amori. This is the Hitti, Kitty, and the Kanaani. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Mitzri oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Paro, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moshe said unto Elohim, Who am I, that I should go unto Paro, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim? And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee when thou hast brought forth the people out of Mitzrayim. You shall serve Elohim upon this mountain. And Moshe said unto Elohim, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, I shall say unto them, The Elohim of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? Remember, at this point, he was not raised in a Hebrew tradition. He was not raised to understand, even though he was raised by his mother, who was a midwife to um, uh, Pharaoh's sister. at the time. Um, I mean, Pharaoh's daughter as his as her son. He was expelled by the Pharaoh um, during this time, and just like some of his ancestors, when he went by the well of water, um, the maidens came there and they served water. So this is a consistent theme. This has happened again and again, and his forefathers did the same thing. And now him being from the house of Levi, um, they're the ones that are set aside in the lineage that set us aside for the priesthood, essentially. So, but he was not raised in the tradition, and now he's coming back essentially as an Egyptian. So he doesn't even know the name of their God, because he's raised in the Egyptian tradition at this point. And Elohim said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. And Elohim said moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, or Yisrael, the Lord God of the fathers. So this is Yehovah Elohim, as we've seen before. Yehovah Elohim, when they do Lord God. They typically mean Yehovah Elohim. I've not seen it where they do Yehovah El. El is typically on its own. The Lord God of your fathers, Yehovah Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Ishak, and the Elohim of Jacob hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them, The Yehovah Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, of Ishak, and of Jacob, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and seen that which is done to you in Mitzrayim. And I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Mitzrayim unto the land of the Canaani, and the Kitti, and the Amori, and the Perizi, and the Kivi, and the uh, Yebusi, unto a land flowing with milk and honey. And they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Mitzrayim. And ye shall say unto him, The Yehovah Elohim of the Hebrew, that's Hebrew, because it's plural in the double E sound, Hebrew, the Hebrew. The Yehovah Elohim of the Hebrew hath met with us, and now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Yehovah our Elohim. And I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go, no, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Mizraim with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that he will let you go, and I will give this people favor in the sight of the Mitzri. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty, but every woman shall borrow of her neighbor, and of her that sojourneth in her house, jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment, which is fabric, fine fabric, And ye shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the mystery. Essentially, spoil means basically Misraim, 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 Misraim. Translation is inaccurate. Okay. And Moshe answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, Jehovah hath not appeared unto thee. And Jehovah said unto him, what is that in thine hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moshe fled from before it. And Elohim and Jehovah said unto Moshe, put forth thine hand, and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand, and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand, that they may believe that Yehovah Elohim of their fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Ishak, the Elohim of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee. And Jehovah said furthermore unto him, remember, this is an angel, this is not Elohim, this is not Jehovah, this is an angel of Jehovah's. So, but he's interacting with it as if it is him. Jehovah said furthermore unto him, put down thy hand into thy bosom. He put his hand into his bosom. When he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon dry land. And the water which shall take us out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. And Moshe said unto Yehovah, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast neither heretofore, neither heretofore, nor since that thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech, and of a slow tongue. And Jehovah said unto him, who hath made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Have not I Jehovah? Jehovah. Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, teach thee what thou shalt say. He said, O my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moshe. The anger of Jehovah was kindled against Moshe. And he said, is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his spirit. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth. And I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach ye what ye shall do. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people. And he shall be to thee instead of a mouth. And thou shalt be to him instead of Elohim. Thou shalt take this rod in thine hand, where thou shalt do sign. So basically, they're saying that he's going to be his spokesman, and he's essentially going to interact with him as God. Um, so Moses or Moshe is going to feed Amram. Let's see, make sure I pronounce it properly. Har, 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 har. And Moshe went and returned to Yethro, his father-in-law, and said unto him, Let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren, which are in Mitzrayim, and see whether they be yet alive in Yethro. Said to Moshe, Go in peace. And Yehovah said unto Moshe and Miriam, Go return into Mitzrayim, for all the men are dead which sought thy life. And Moshe took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass. And he returned to the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe took the rod of God, of Elohim, in his hand. And Yehovah said unto Moshe, When thou goest to return into Mitzrayim, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thy hand, but I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. And I shall say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith Yehovah, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, Let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. And it came to pass by the way in the end that Yehovah met him and sought to kill him. Then Sipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, Surely a bloody husband art thou to me. So he let him go. Then she said, A bloody husband thou art because of circumcision. And Yehovah said to Aharoni, Go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount God of Elohim and kissed him and greeted him. And Moshe told Aharoni all the words of Yehovah who had sent him and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moshe and Aharoni went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aharoni spake all the words which Yehovah spoke unto Moshe, and did the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed, and when they heard that Yehovah had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshipped. And afterwards, Moshe and Aharoni went in and told Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, or the Yehovah Elohim of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, Who is the Yehovah? Basically, who is this Yehovah? He's not wondering that I should obey his voice to let Israel go. I know not Yehovah, neither will I let Israel. And he said, The Elohim of the Hebrew have met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert and sacrifice unto Yehovah our Elohim, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. And the king of Israel said unto them, "For do ye, Mosheh and Aharon, let the people from their works. Get you unto your burdens." And Pharaoh said, "Behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens." And Pharaoh commanded the same day his taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, "Ye shall no more give the people straw to make break, as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. And tell the bricks which they did make heretofore, ye shall lay upon them. Ye shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, Let us go and sacrifice our God." So basically saying that they have too much free time because they're running and complaining. Um, so they put on more additional work on them to keep them busy and distracted and focus on things that are inconsequential. Let their more work be laid upon men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. And the taskmasters of the people went out. Let's talk about the taskmasters. See what it was. No gas. No gas. No gas to drive. Workmen. Detour. Detour. Go ye, get you straw where you can find it. Yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Israel to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters hastened them, saying, "Fulfill your works, your daily tasks, as when there was straw." And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded, "Wherefore have ye not fulfilled your task of making break both yesterday and today, as heretofore?" And the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, "Wherefore dost thou thus with thy servants? There is no straw given unto thy servants." And they say to us, "Make brick, and behold, thy servants are beaten, for the fault is in thine own people." But we say, "Ye are idle, we are idle, therefore you say, Let us go and do sacrifice to the Lord. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you. They shall you deliver the bricks." So basically tell the story of the bricks and what I've done to make your life harder. And they met Mosheh and Aharon, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh, and they said unto them, "Yehovah look upon you, O judge, because ye have made our savor speak forward in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hands to slay us." And Moshe returned unto the Lord and said, "Lord, wherefore hast thou so evil entreated this people? Why is it that thou hast sent me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he hath done evil to this people, neither hast thou delivered thy people at all." So Pharaoh hardened his heart. Yehovah already said that he was going to cause him to harden his heart. But apparently they needed additional convincing because they were prosperous and they did well in the land of Mitzrayim. So because they did well in the land of Mitzrayim, they don't want to leave. And Pharaoh doesn't want to let them lead either. Then Yehovah said unto Moshe, "Now shalt thou see what I will do to Pharaoh. For with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his own land." And Yehovah spoke unto Moshe and said unto him, "I am Yehovah." And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Ishak, And unto Yahoo by the name of God Almighty is basically Elohim. Yeah, El Shaddai. El Shaddai. So all these different names. Um, yeah, El Shaddai. So when it has aspects or characters, verse 6, I guess they short Elohim to just El. Um, and then the descriptor, El Shaddai. All right. It's El Almighty. But by my name, Yehovah, was I not known to them. So this is after the fact, because in the scripture it said, Lord, I am Lord thy God. They've said that before, but um, it was Rafa previously, um, and El Shaddai. But it's saying here that he never told them his name. He didn't tell his father's name. So it's previously referred to as Jehovah in other scriptures where it says Lord, but that name was not given to them. So it was just a title. Uh, according to this verse here. But by my name, Yehovah, was I not known to them. And I've also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of the pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. But I've also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, from whom the Ministries keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am Yehovah, and I will bring you out from under the burden of the Egyptians, or under the Ministry, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with the stretched out arm and different judgments, and I will take you to be people, and I will be to you a Elohim, I will be to you Elohim, and ye shall know that I am Elohim, for I am Yehovah Elohim, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of Ministry. I will bring you in unto the land concerning which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, Ishmael, and to Jacob, and I will give it you for a heritage. I am Jehovah. And Mosheh spake unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Mosheh for anguish of spirit and for cruel bondage. And they didn't listen to him because of the difficulty in their lives have transitioned into. And the Lord spake unto Moshe, saying, and I appeared as a yes, so they didn't listen because of the cruelty of the bondage and the way that things transitioned, where they were comfortable before and they were prospering, or even with the increase in hard life that the previous Pharaoh had put upon them. And Yehovah spake unto Moses, saying, go in, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, uh, king of Israel, that he let the children of Israel go out of his land. Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me? How then shall Pharaoh hear me? Who circumcised and Jehovah spake unto Mosheh and unto Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Israel and unto Pharaoh king of Egypt to bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Moshe is still hesitant in terms of his command, and is still hesitant about accepting it because of the power that he perceives Pharaoh to have and the disobedience and murmuring of the children of Israel. These be the heads of their fathers' houses. Sons of Reuben, I'm just going to say it's faster. Sons of Reuben, firstborn of Israel, Anak and Palu and Hezron and Carmi. These be the families of Reuben. And the sons of Shimoni, Yemuel and Yamin and Ohad and Yakin and Zohar and Shaul, the son of the Canaanites. These are the families of Shimoni. And these are the names of the sons of Levi, according to their generations, Gershon and Kohath and Merari. And the years of the life of Levi were 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Libni and Shimi, according to their families, and the sons of Kohath, Amram and Ishar and Hebron and Uzziah. And the years of the life of Kohath were 133 years. Sons of Merari, Mahali, and Mushi. These are the families of Levi according to their generations. And Amram took him Jochebed, his father's sister, to wife, and she bare him Aharonah and Mosheh. So here we're going to get to the name of their fathers and the lineage of their fathers. So this is Amram, son of Kohath, which is the son of Kohath, which is the son of Levi. So this is Levi, which is from the tribe of Israel. Levi, Yosef's brother, he gave birth to Kohath. Kohath, son Amram, married Jochebed, sister of his father, Kohath, sister of his father Kohath. So Amram married, and that is the mother of Aharonah and Moshe. So they put them in order, so that means Aharonah is their older brother, and Moshe is the younger brother. The years of the life of Amram were 137 years. So 137, 133, and 137 again. And the sons of Israel, Issachar, Korah, Nepheg, and Zikri. And the sons of Uzziel, Mishael, Elzaphan, Zitri, and Aharonah took him and Sheba, daughter of Aminadab, sister of Nahashon, to wife. And she bare him Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, and the sons of Asir, and Elkanah, and Abiasaph. These are the families of Korhites. And Eleazar's, Aaron's son, took him one of the daughters of Uziel to wife, and she bare him Phinehas. These are the heads of the fathers of the Levites according to their families. These are Aaron, Harone, and Mosheh, to whom Yehovah said, bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, according to their armies. These are they who spake to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring out the children of Israel from Israel. These are that Moses and Aaron. These are that Moses and Aaron. And it came to pass, when Elohim spoke unto Moshe in the land of Israel, that Yehovah spake unto Moshe, saying, I am Yehovah. Speak thou unto Pharaoh, king of Israel, all that I say unto thee. And Moshe said before Yehovah, behold, I am of uncircumcised lips, and how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me? What else? This is saying he has loose lips, so he had to stutter. He had loose lips, so he probably had a lisp or something like that, or a stutter. Yehovah said to Moshe, see, I have made thee Elohim to Pharaoh. It's Elohim. Yeah, Elohim to Pharaoh. And Harone, thy brother shall be thy prophet, and thou shalt speak all that I command thee. And Harone, thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. Now harden Pharaoh's heart, multiply my signs and wonders in the land of Israel. O Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Israel, and bring forth mine armies and my people, children of Israel, out of the land of Israel, great judgments. And Israel shall know that I am Yehovah, to stretch forth my hand out of Israel, bring out the children of Israel from among Moshe and Aaron did as the Lord or Yehovah commanded them, so did they. And Moshe was 80 years old, and Aaron 80 and 3 years old. So he was 40. I said 80, 4 times 1. Scores 20. So he was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83. When they spake unto Pharaoh, and Yehovah spake unto Moshe and unto Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take that rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And Moshe and Aaron went unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Jehovah had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh, and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men, the sorcerers, now the magicians of Mitzrayim. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became servants. But Aaron's rod swallowed their rod. They hearkened not unto them, as Yehovah has said. This is growing the faith of Mosheh and Aharon, the priest prophet. Um, and Yehovah said unto Moshe, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuseth to let the people go. Get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goeth out unto the water, and thou shalt stand by the river's bank against him. And the rod which was turned to a serpent shalt thou take in thy hand. And thou shalt say unto him, Yehovah Elohim of the Hebrew hath sent me unto thee, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear. Thus saith Yehovah, this thou shalt know that I am Yehovah. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in my hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. And the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink. And the Egyptians, the Ministries, shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. And Yehovah spake unto Moshe, saying unto Aaron, take thy rod and stretch out thy hand, be stream upon the streams, upon the rivers, and upon the ponds, and upon all the pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Israel, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. So that means all the water that was contained, all the water that was already contained in vessels, shall also turn into blood. And Moshe and Aharon did so, and Jehovah commanded, and he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river in the sight of Pharaoh, and in the sight of his servants, and all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river sank, and the Ministry could not drink of the water of the river. And there was blood throughout all the land of Israel. And the physicians of Israel did so with their enchantments. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he harden unto them, as Jehovah has said. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house, neither did he set his heart to this also, and all the Ministry dig from the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled after that Jehovah had split the river. Jehovah, Jehovah spake unto Moshe, go unto Pharaoh and say unto him, thus saith Jehovah, let my people go, that they may serve me. If thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs. And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thy house, and into thy bedchamber, and upon thy bed, and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. And the frog shall come up both on thee, and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants. And Jehovah spake unto Moshe, saying, Aaron, stretch forth thy hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and the ponds, and the troughs, upon the Ministry. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Israel. And the magicians did so with their enchantments, and brought up frogs upon the land of Israel. The oracle from Mosheh and Aaron and said, entreat Jehovah, that he may take away the frogs from me, and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may do sacrifice unto Jehovah. And Moshe said unto Pharaoh, Lord of me, when shall I entreat for thee, and for thy servants, and for thy people, to destroy the frogs from the houses, that they may remain for only? And he said tomorrow, he said, be it according to the word that thou mayest know, that there is none like unto Jehovah our Elohim. and the frogs shall depart from thee. 6 generations of frogs are the swamp, a marsh, swamp, or a marsh. The frogs shall depart from thee, and from the houses, and from thy servants, and from thy people. They shall remain in the river only. Moshe and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, and Moshe cried unto Yehovah because of the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. And Yehovah did according to the word of Moshe, and the frogs died out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. And they gathered them together upon heaps, and the land sank. But when Pharaoh saw that there was respite, he hardened his heart, and hearkened not unto them, as Yehovah had said. So basically, he asked them to turn it over, basically reverse it, because his chief enchanters and his chief priests, his chief magicians, did not reverse what was done. So he asked them to reverse it, and they did it. And all the frogs removed themselves from the houses and gathered themselves in large piles to die. And then, um, as they decomposed, the land began to sink. This is the second time the fish came out, made the land sink. And now with the frogs already to go away, now the land sank again. So basically, as soon as he saw that, things had retreated, he hardened his heart. It was like, no, Yehovah said unto Moshe, saying to Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land. You should always make sure this is lice, like we understand it to be. Kind so this is a net that bites. It's a net that bites. So that's what we call lice. It's not hair lice like we're thinking. It's lice like a net that bites. But it's a swarm of small bugs all over the place. And they did so. But Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beasts. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice. They could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beasts. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of Elohim. And Pharaoh's heart was hard. He hearkened not unto them. And Yehovah says, as Yehovah had said. Yehovah said to Moshe, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water. And say unto him, thus saith Yehovah, let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians. Shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground around. Saying flies, it's really talking about mosquitoes. I was talking about swarms of mosquitoes. It's not actually talking about flies. But I will sever in that day the line of Mosheh, which my people dwell, and no swarms of flies shall be there. To the end thou mayest know that I am Yehovah in the midst of the earth. That's pretty dope. So Yehovah in the midst of the earth. So that means Yehovah is inside the earth, and he sent an angel to communicate with Moshe. And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. And Jehovah did so. There came a grievous swarm of flies and mosquitoes into the house of Paro, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Mitzrayim. The land was corrupted by reason of the swarm of flies or mosquitoes. That the flies later. Um, Paro called for Moshe and for Aaron and said, "Go ye sacrifice to your Elohim in the land." Moshe said, "It is not meet so to do, for we shall sacrifice the abomination of the mystery to Yehovah Elohim. Nor shall we sacrifice the abomination of mystery before their eyes, and will they not stone us?" We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to Yehovah our Elohim, and he shall command us. And Pharaoh said, "I will let you go, that ye may sacrifice to Yehovah your Elohim in the wilderness. Only ye shall not go very far away and retreat from me." Moshe said, "Behold, I go out from thee, and I will entreat the Yehovah that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. For let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully anymore in not letting the people go to sacrifice to Jehovah." Uh, Moshe went out from Pharaoh, and Jehovah did according to the word of Moshe, and he removed swarms of flies and mosquitoes from his servants and from his people. There remained not one. And Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go. So it was saying in this part, Pharaoh said to him, basically, do the sacrifice to your God in our land. Um, but they already knew because it's all about getting out so they could flee from the bondage. They had no intention of coming back because they already prophesied that they need to go journey forward and the land of uh, Kiti and the land of Kipi and the land of Yebusi and the land of the Amori. Then Jehovah said to Moshe, "Go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus saith Jehovah, Elohim of the Hebrew, let my people go that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and wilt hold them still, behold, the hand of Jehovah is upon the cattle which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous rain, 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 rain. pestilence, a plague of pestilence. Okay. Yehovah shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Mitzrayim, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. And Yehovah appointed at a set time, saying, tomorrow Yehovah shall do this thing in the land. And Yehovah did that thing on tomorrow, and all the cattle of Egypt died. So there was something that Moshe had to do on the land in order to bring this about. I mean, something that Yehovah had to do on the land in order to bring this about. Yehovah appointed us at time, saying tomorrow, Yehovah shall do this thing. Did that thing tomorrow, Mitzrayim died, but the cattle of the children of Israel died not one. And Pharaoh said, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of Israel, uh, Israel, 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 died not one. And Pharaoh said, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israeli dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened even more, and he did not let the people go. And Yehovah said unto Moshe and unto Aaron, take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and Moshe sprinkled it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. And it shall come small dust in all the land of Israel. It shall be a boil breaking forth with flames of a man and of a beast throughout all the land of Israel. And they took ashes of the furnace and it stood before Pharaoh, and Moshe put it up toward heaven, and it became a boil breaking forth with flames of a man and one beast. Sprinkle it 7. So you threw it up in the air, and the ashes from the furnace. And they threw that up in the air. And the magicians could not stand before Moshe because the boils. So the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians. And Yehovah hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hardened it not unto them. And Yehovah had spoken unto Moses, as Yehovah had spoken unto Moses. And Yehovah said unto Moshe, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh and said unto him, thus saith Yehovah, the Elohim of the Hebrew, let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee, and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in every deed for this, have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. As yet exaltest thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go. Behold, tomorrow, about this time, I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as hath not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof. All right, hell, actually hell, borrowed, borrowed stones. Mm-hmm. Send therefore now and gather thy cattle and all that thou hast in the field, for upon every man beasts which shall be found in the field, and shall not be brought home, hell shall come down upon them, and they shall die. He that feareth the word, Yehovah, among the servants of Pharaoh, may his servants and his cattle flee his house. And he that regarded not the word of Yehovah left his servants and his cattle in the field. And Yehovah said unto Mosheh, stretch forth thine hand toward heaven, and there may be hail in the land of Mizraim, upon man, and upon beast, upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Mizraim. And Mosheh stretched forth his rod toward heaven, and and Moshe stretched forth his rod toward heaven or towards the sky, and Yehovah sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground, and Yehovah rained hail on the land of Israel. So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, very degrees, such as there was none like it in all the land of Israel, since it became a nation. And the hail smote throughout all the land of Israel, all that was in the field, both man and beast, and the hail smote every herb in the field, and break every tree in the field. Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, was there no hail. Thus severing and making a difference between us or the Hebrew and Egyptians. And Pharaoh sent and called for Moshe and Aaron and said unto them, I have sinned this time. Jehovah is righteous, and I and my people entreat Jehovah enough, that there be no more mighty thunderings and hail, and I will let you go, and you shall stay no longer. And Moshe said unto him, as soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread abroad my hands to Jehovah, and the thunder shall cease, neither shall there be any more hail, that thou mayest know how that the earth is Jehovah's. But as for thee and thy servants, I know that ye will not yet fear Yehovah Elohim. And the flax and the barley was smitten, for the barley was in the ear, and the flax was boiled, but the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up. And Moshe went out of the city of Pharaoh, and spread abroad his hands unto Jehovah, and the thunders and the hail ceased, and the rain was upward 1/3. When Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more, and hardened his heart, he and his servants. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, neither would he let the children of Israel go, as the Lord Jehovah has spoken by Moshe. Okay. Chapter 10, this is the last one for this episode. All right. And Yehovah said unto Moshe, go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the heart of his servants, that I may show these my sons before him, and that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son and of thy son's son what things I have brought Israel, my sons which I have done among them, that ye may know how that I am Jehovah. And Moshe and Aaron came in unto Pharaoh and said unto him, thus saith Yehovah Elohim of the Hebrews, how long wilt thou refuse to humble thyself before me? Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow will I bring the locusts into thy host, and they shall cover the face of the earth, that one cannot be able to see the earth, and they shall eat the residue of that which is escaped, which remaineth unto you from the hill, and shall eat every tree which groweth for you out of the field. And they shall fill the houses and the houses of all thy servants and the houses of all the Egyptians, which neither thy fathers nor thy fathers' father have seen since the day that they were upon the earth unto this day. He turned himself and went out from Paro. And Paro's servant said unto him, how long shall this man be a snare unto us? Let the men go, that they may serve Yehovah their Elohim. Knowest thou not yet that Mizraim is destroyed? And Mosheh and Aharon brought again unto Pharaoh. He said unto them, go, serve the Lord your God. But who are they that shall go? And Moshe said, we will go out with our young, and with our old, with our sons, and with our daughters, with our flocks, and with our herds. But we must hold a feast unto Jehovah. And he said unto them, let Jehovah be so with you, as I will let you go and your little ones. Look to it, for evil is before you. Not so. Go now, ye that are men, and serve the Lord, and serve Jehovah, for that ye did desire. And they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. And Jehovah said unto Moshe, stretch out thy hand over the land of Mizraim for the locusts, that they may come up upon the land of Egypt, and eat every herb of the land, even all the hail hath lived. Moshe stretched forth his rod in the land of Mizraim, and Jehovah brought the east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. And the locusts went up. Let's see what they're actually called. Arpe. And the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt, Mizraim, and rested in all the coasts of Mizraim. Very grievous were they. Before them there were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. But they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was dark. And they did eat every herb of the land, and all the fruit of the trees, which the hill had left. And there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs of the field through all the land of Mizraim. The Pharaoh called for Mosheh and Aharon in haste, and he said, I have sinned against Jehovah, against you. Therefore forgive, I pray thee, sin only this once, and entreat Jehovah Elohim, that he may take away from me this death. And he went out from Pharaoh and entreated Jehovah. And Jehovah turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locusts and cast them into the Red Sea. There remained not one locust. All the coasts of Israel. But the Lord of Jehovah hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go. And Jehovah said to Moshe, stretch out thy hand toward heaven or the sky, that there may be darkness over the land of Mizraim, darkness which he felt. Moshe stretched forth his hand toward heaven or the sky, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Mizraim 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in the dwellings. And Pharaoh called unto Moshe and said, go ye, serve Yahweh. Only let your flocks and your herds be saved, but your little ones also go. Moshe said, thou must give us also sacrifice for offerings. We may sacrifice unto Jehovah our Elohim. Our cattle also shall go with us, there shall not an hoof be left behind, for thereof must we take to serve Yehovah. We know not with what we must serve Yehovah until we come to it. But Yehovah heard Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let them go. Pharaoh said unto him, Get thee from me, take heed to thyself, see my face no more, for that day thou seest my face, thou shalt die. And Moshe said, Thou hast spoken well, I will see thy face again. All right, let's see. This is and Jehovah said unto Moshe, Yea, I will bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Israel. Afterwards he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. Jehovah gave people favor in the sight of the Mitzri. Moreover, the man Moshe was very great in the land of Mitzrayim, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants, and in the sight of people. And Moshe said, Thus saith Yehovah, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Mitzrayim, and all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim shall die. Into the midst of Mitzrayim, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt of Mitzrayim shall die. The firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn beasts, of the beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Israel, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore. But against any of the children of and all my servants shall come down unto me and bow down themselves unto me, saying, Get thee out, and all the people that follow thee, and after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in great anger. And Yehovah said unto Moshe, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the Mitzrayim. And Moshe and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and Yehovah hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land. Okay, we'll start chapter 12. Uh, yeah, we'll start on Passover next time to make sure that we have enough time to read through it. Well, that's going to be a big chapter. That's very important. The Passover is very important. But yeah, we went through all the plagues of Egypt. 9 plagues in total. 10 plagues in total. 10 plagues in total before the Passover. So now we're looking at the journey of Exodus and all the energy and all the momentum that had to be built up. So even though this is a negotiation between Yehovah and Pharaoh, what you're looking at is the what you're looking at is negotiation between Pharaoh. He's trying to be diplomatic and negotiate with Moshe. So even though all these curses are upon the land, even though these things are happening, even though they're manifesting exactly as he said it would. Um, Even though his magicians and his sorcerers can't stop any of it, according to the story. Um, they're still um, basically all proving themselves to his people in the same time. So uh, Moshe is not really the overall plan like he was, but at the same time, Pharaoh's not really trying to let him have full complete terms. Each time he's had something else to give up, but he's not in complete submission um, to the will of Yehovah Elohim, the Greek. So that's what we're seeing thus far. And we're seeing the different levels of plague and different ways that it's applied in the command that Moshe has to do in order to bring it about. So, all of the trepidation that he had before about speaking and communicating with people, um, he is actually um, acting in this space and in this position. His actions lie because he's obedient to doing the things that's commanded by Yehovah. So we'll pick up next time on Passover. It's been another episode of I am on Mosheh, and I am on Mosheh. I am Awo Egunniyi. We're going to end the prayer at this time. We give thanks to the creator of all things. We give thanks for life, for health, for strength, for wisdom, for understanding. We give thanks for the ability to come together again, the ability to study, to show ourselves through, the ability to navigate this life, navigate this journey, and navigate this pathway that we've been called to walk on. Um, Continue to enlighten our hearts and minds, continue to expand our consciousness, and continue to ignite the word of truth within our hearts. Guide us, protect us as we journey forward, guide us, and protect us as we move forward in peace, goodness, calmness, coolness. Let prosperity be ours, and happiness be ours. These things we say. And thanks again for tuning in. Begin to share and make announcements relative to when we'll be going live so we can build up some consistency and build up some momentum so we can power through the Torah first, um, as we have finally ventured into Exodus and their way of Genesis. All right. Thanks for logging in. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching.